So we got this Excel template that represents the folder directory that we are going to create in SharePoint. So we have here level 1 in English and Spanish, the names of the folders, then level 2, level 3, level 4, we could have as many levels as we wanted, up until 5 in this example. And then here we configure for each of these folders who has edit access and who has only view access. So when the project is automatically created, then we have here the folder structure with the different subfolders and then if we just go here, for example, we can check in the manage access button these ad hoc custom permissions for these folders. So here, for example, we have these people who only can view, the rest of them can edit. Now the users will access these projects, all the resources from a SharePoint list, for example, where we have the name of the project type, maybe potentially other columns, like the client, for example. And then with this link, we jump automatically to the project SharePoint library with the folder structure. And additionally, we can jump to this planner that's created automatically as well based on another template. This time this template is just the automatic export from a planner. So if we export a plan to Excel, we can use it then with Power Platform to create new planners based on that template. Now let's see how we can build this with Microsoft Power Platform. The process consists on 4 steps. And on the high level, we can read that, well, we first have to create the SharePoint library, then the folder tree based on that Excel template that I showed earlier, then assign the custom permissions to each of the folders based on the same Excel template, and same with the planner, of course, on a different template. Now, here you can see the different icons of the technologies that we're using in each of the steps of the process. So first, of course, SharePoint, because we have to create the library, right? Power Automate is going to trigger the whole step, all the micro steps inside this more macro step over here. Database, we're using a model driven app to control the process and storing in auxiliary tables, more of that in a moment, to control, well, all the steps inside this more macro step. And I've selected Azure Functions language PowerShell with the library PNP PowerShell, one of the most widely used to interact with SharePoint Online among other technologies from Microsoft. And this allows us to, very easily create the library, breaking the permission inheritance, and same with the folder tree and the permissions. Now you see here Excel. When I'm referring to Excel in these steps, it's not only that I'm using Excel to store the template. We're jumping here to the template. This is a table. Well, you see with all the different folders. In this column it's in English, then in this column is the name of the folder in Spanish, and then here in the right we have the permissions. So edit permissions over there here and view permissions over here, and these keywords are with a mapping table behind the scenes matching this keyword with a SharePoint group that's tied to an Azure Active Directory, Entra ID, a security group, so that permissions are dynamic. But the things that I'm using these OST, this is Office scripts to control basically the creation of the folder tree, the permissions, and same with the planner, so that with Office scripts, with this TypeScript, what we do is read this table, submit it in a JSON format that's readable to our Azure Functions, so that PowerShell is able to read the structure and then work it out so that it creates the folder tree, the permissions, etc. Now let's see a demo. I just run it for the Spanish version of the video, but I will do a new test with you right now. So let's put a test video English version, and then here what we would do is select the project type. So what are these project types? Well, I just have one for this demo, but imagine that we can have more project types to use different templates based on the project type. And here we are talking projects, but it could be maybe that we want to create a certain folder tree for our account, so to store all the documents related to an account or related to any other serious or core process that we have in our business. I'm going to save, and behind the scenes, okay, I'm going to switch here the form and go to the admin form, and you'll see all the data that we are storing for this record. Don't suggest this to me because it doesn't make sense. Okay, and here you see, yeah, SharePoint site, library internal name, etc. If we go to the construction project, we see here the pointers to the templates that we're using for the folder tree and for the planner. Now, from a different app, it's called Process Engine Manager, here, test video English version, we are basically streamlining and controlling all the sub-processes that make up this bigger process of project creation. You see here sub-processors. These are a one-to-n relationship, one-to-n, and here we have all the steps in order. So SharePoint library, tree, folder permissions, planner, etc. And you see that some are already in success, and as soon as this is set to success, the next one will be set as active following this order here, so that when SharePoint library is created, then we create the folder tree. Otherwise, we will run in an error. But this is not the important thing. Only the making this in a sequence. But because also, if we jump in one of these subprocesses, we see here that we have several information. What kind of information? For instance, we are storing the flow execution URL, meaning that if we jump into here, we'll see the particular instance execution of this flow where we can follow up all the steps that happen, for example, here until the invocation of the Azure function. Now, what's happening? Why is this important? You see here, I'm controlling with this status reason the status, right? So if it's a success, means that everything went good. But if it was set as error, what I would do is jump again and debug what happened in the Power Automate flow. Once I'm done and I amended the error, what I would do is basically set this to active again, save, and the engine manager would trigger automatically the sub-process at that particular stage. And then as soon as it's set to success, then the next one, if I refresh, you will see, will be set to active to continue exactly with the process. Let's jump over here to see why this is so important. This is what I call a support first architecture, meaning that we're building a process with this kind of console, with this modern app to help our support technicians see, understand what's happening, and debug better if the process fails. Because, for example, you get a ticket that the project creation failed, and the business user will have no idea which step of the process was the one that was faulty. Now, if the support technician only needs to know, okay, what project are you talking about, then jump into the module app and see which of these steps was the one in here, maybe this one, for example, that was set as error, then he could jump into it and go straight to the flow execution to see what happened. So let's do a mental exercise here. So imagine that the SharePoint library creation was okay, but then for some reason the folder tree creation didn't work. Now, if we want to resubmit the process, if we do again resubmit it from here, this step will fail because we already have a document library with the same name. Instead, what we want to do is restart and resume the process from here as soon as we amend what's happening, the error that was preventing us from creating the folder tree. Maybe it was the faulty template, maybe it was something happened that maybe our Azure function was turned off for some reason. Whatever it was, we amend that error, then can restart or resume the process from here, and then it will go automatically onwards until it finishes. And this is a way I like to implement complex processes where lots of moving parts. And you see there's quite a lot of logos here, several technology involved in here, and the key for us Power Platform architects, developers, consultants is to understand all the pieces, the moving pieces, and see clearly how they need to be match together, interact, so that we provide a good and functional solution. But bear in mind that if one of these pieces is faulty for some reason, because lots of moving pieces means lots of potential faulty pieces, then we need to be able to quickly see what happened where and then amend it. And this is a great way to do that visually so that we make our support technicians' lives easier. I hope you like the video. Please like it, subscribe, send me a comment if you find that you need help or didn't understand anything or just want to give me your opinion on feedback. Please do. And if you need help at the my services as a consultant, and you can contact me from my website. You can see it here. It will be also available on the description box on this YouTube video. Thank you very much. Have a great week ahead, and see you soon.